What's going on, guys? Christovus here. I hope you're having a good 2017 so far. I know I'm having an okay-ish one, I suppose. It's been a little bit longer than I'd like to admit, but it's been a minute since I've done a commentary, especially a post-commentary. So I decided that I'm going to do that today, and since we're starting off the new year, I kind of want to just talk about that. I've never really believed in making New Year's resolutions. I've always thought that if you're going to start doing something to improve yourself in your life, that you should start doing it immediately. You shouldn't really be waiting for a specific date to do it. Um, I mean, New Year's is a pretty easy date to set just because it's very obvious when the annual, uh, well, you know what I'm trying to say. You know exactly when it's been a full year. It's pretty obvious to everybody. Not that most people make it for their New Year's resolutions, anyways, but I just kind of have a list here of things that I wrote down, and it's not really a resolution necessarily. It's just kind of something that I need to remind myself every once in a while, and I decided that now is a good time to do it. So it's kind of titled Going Forward in 2017. I'm kind of going to read the list off and what it means to me. And the reason I made this list isn't because it is necessarily something I should hear, but I feel like it's something that everybody could hear. So that's kind of why I've made it. And that's also why I'm making a commentary out of it today. So I'm just going to start on the list. The first thing on there is get to the gym at least 3 times per week with a sub note of no excuses. 3 out of 7 days a week, that's less than half, obviously. It's just not hard to do. So I feel like everybody should exercise. I feel like there's not a huge excuse as to why people shouldn't. And sometimes I find myself slacking and not doing that. So I decided that I needed to start my list with that. My next one is save your money. I know that is hard and not everybody can always do it. But when you can, saving your money is really important. And I recently moved back home so I could do just that. And I kind of slacked in the end of 2016. I can't lie. And I'm kind of disappointed about that. So I thought that kind of fit the list. And again, that's something that I feel everybody should be reminded of and should always try to do because saving is definitely important. The next one I have is never put all of your eggs in one basket. And I kind of mean that in like a people sense. And underneath it's got this subnote of people change and so do you. In 2016 and into 2017, a lot of people that I have known and currently know have changed quite a bit. Whether it's for the better or worse, I can't really say, but it's something that's come to my attention recently, and it's definitely affected my life in many different ways. It's part of the reason I haven't had the best 2017 so far, to be honest, but it's kind of a reminder to myself that no matter who you are, no matter who somebody is, someday they're not going to be that same person. And whoever says that people stay the same or kind of lying. Like everybody changes in some way or another. So let's see here. You can make time for anything. I know this one seems kind of strange and you're probably thinking like, no, you can't make time for everything. But underneath in subnotes, I said, don't leave projects incomplete and don't become a stranger. I feel like in 2016, I kind of started and stopped a lot of things. Recording for YouTube again is definitely one of those, as you've seen. I've been inconsistent, and that's been kind of a problem. I've wanted to get back into this again, and I've been finding it hard to do so, mainly for time, which is kind of why I put this down. And also, don't become a stranger. I feel like in 2016, especially with moving back home and taking more responsibilities on at work, I feel like I've become a stranger to a lot of my friends. I feel like I don't see people nearly as much. I feel like it's harder for me to get a hold of people, and it's probably even harder for them to get a hold of me. And that's a problem that I really want to fix going forward. I mean, it's exactly how it sounds. Don't be a stranger. I don't want to be that, because obviously people want friends. It's really tough to deal with that on my own. This is kind of I don't know what kind of a commentary this is necessarily. I don't know why I'm doing this, but for some reason when I wrote this list down, it seemed like a good idea. Opportunity seldom finds you is my next one, and when it does, you still have to reach for it. Good things don't come to people super easily, and I think people forget that. you have to go out and you have to make your own success, and you have to find things that are helpful to you, and sometimes they will find you, but even then you still have to reach for them. I feel like everybody's success, the only person that they owe is themselves. That goes for me as well, and that goes for pretty much everybody listening to this, whether you want to believe it or not. If you're going to be successful in your life, you really need to step up, and you need to put it upon yourself, I suppose, to make sure that everything gets complete and you rise to the top, or as high as you want to be. And that's kind of what the next one is. It says create your own way, find success in yourself. I really don't like relying on other people to kind of provide an experience for me or help me get to the next stage of where I want to be. Of course, it's nice to have friends and allies and people who can help you get there, but they're not always going to be there. And so that's why I've been trying to find more success within myself lately. I'm happy with where I'm at in my job. I really love my job. I'm a personal banker now, for those of you who don't know. And I really do enjoy it, but sometimes it's been tough, especially lately. And I'm hoping to do some consumer lending going forward in this year. So I feel like this is a big one that I really need to focus on. It should probably be closer to the top of the list, but here we are. And the last one that I have is always strive to be a better you. And even then, remember that you are still the best you that you can be, and always be proud of yourself. And that's something that I've always had a hard time doing. I've never been a fan of myself per se. And I mean, I've got other commentaries that kind of allude to that from a while ago. Something I'm going to try and do this year is I'm going to be confident. I'm going to try and be my own biggest fan, if that makes any sense. I really need to focus and do the best that I can. And I think the more I better myself, the more pleased I'll be with myself, and the easier things will be for me. And yeah, that's all I really have on that list. I don't really know what the point of this commentary is, and I hope that some of you were able to take something away from this. This wasn't necessarily meant to inspire anybody. This wasn't really meant to like try to show off, be like, yeah, look at me trying to do all these things in 2017, because as a lot of you know, a lot of people will start with a New Year's resolution and they peter out pretty quick. And again, these aren't really resolutions. These are just things that I need to keep in mind as I try to better myself throughout 2017 here. And hopefully, as I start to do more commentaries, fingers crossed, you guys will hopefully see and hear that within myself. So hopefully you can look forward to that, and I certainly look forward to hearing from you guys. My name is Christovus. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.